Hello and welcome to this video. I want to talk today about workspace management within OEC Trader. Let's first talk about what a workspace is. A workspace is just a collection of windows within the platform here. So you can see I have open on my screen here the OEC Trader instance, and within there I have a dome screen on my right, I have a chart here on the top left here, and I also have a quote board here on the bottom left. So that's my workspace essentially. If I wanted to add more windows to that, I could certainly do that. I could remove windows here. I could even have windows that weren't necessarily within the OEC Trader instance. I could have them free floating and separate from these windows. Let's first talk about how to restore to the default workspace. If you start removing some windows there, or you start to kind of tweak some things that you maybe forget how to change back if you're just starting out on OEC Trader, OEC does have a pretty handy function here to restore your default workspace. So if we go to File and we go to Workspaces here, we'll find most of our functionalities here for workspaces. So if I wanted to go ahead and restore that default workspace, I have that as an option right there at the bottom of that Workspaces menu. So we'll go ahead and do that, and you'll see that I actually had removed a window from that default workspace, so it should restore that for us there. You see, as that loaded up, it did add back my account summary. It automatically resized that for me. I didn't have to kind of struggle with that or anything in that vein, so it makes it pretty easy and pretty quick. And we'll see the same thing as we start to add and remove windows going forward here. And again, if I wanted to remove that, one thing we can do is we can even remove just specific tabs. So you'll notice that aside from my dome interface here to the right, all of these windows have tabs. So the quote board has different tabs for different asset classes here. The chart has tabs to different instruments on the chart for chart display. And our account summary has account summary here, positions, filled orders, active orders, and so forth. So if I wanted to just delete that tab here, remember what I did was just select the X here on the account summary. If I select no, it will just remove that tab. Now if I wanted to remove that whole window, I'll just select yes, and that will remove that. Again, resize that for us so we don't have to spend time struggling with that. We can always resize it and tweak it further if we wanted to. And you can see that's pretty quick there as well, which is kind of manipulating those dividers. And that works the same way if we were to kind of adjust our depth of market screen. You can see now I can view some volume here on that depth of market screen. Another handy feature here within OEC Trader. Let's also talk about adding a new window to our workspace. So maybe the default workspace has a lot here, but maybe you want to add something, kind of tweak it, customize it a little bit further for us. So if we go to that File menu here, we'll select New, so we can add a new window within our workspace here. I'm going to choose a chart window, just as an example. Of course, you could choose another window if you wanted to. I'm going to select crude oil as an example, again, just to kind of display how this will work. Now what we have here is a free floating window here. So this is not actually docked to OEC Trader, the instance there, as I would call it. So what we can do is we could actually focus just on this chart if we wanted to. We could have multiple charts that were outside of that dome instance if we wanted to. We can access all of these different menus here right within that chart here. So if we wanted to focus on that, that's available as well. So they're not tied to the OEC instance. Again, we can have them free floating, put them on our other monitors if we want to, and kind of share those or configure those in different ways. Now if I did want to dock this, what I can do is if I select the title bar here and I kind of mouse over here as I hold, and so what we'll do is we'll just click and hold here, and you'll see that these dock partitions will show up here, these dock kind of icons. As we mouse over them, it grays different or dims part of our screen so that we see where the allocation will take as far as the screen real estate on your PC. So if I wanted to make it that kind of whole section there, I could do that. If I wanted to make it a small sliver there, I could do that, or even maybe a toolbar-like function there. Now this is a chart, so what I want to do is actually add this just as another kind of tab or another space here under that existing chart. So I'm going to go under that main window so it doesn't take up the whole window there and hide the other one. I'm going to select that bottom one. You'll see again it automatically resizes that for us so that we didn't have to spend time doing that. It brings that up for us, and we can of course adjust that further if we wanted to, and kind of tweak that as we have that displayed there. So you can see it's again, pretty easy to add those, and I can move this to a different part of the screen if I wanted to. So I'm just going to click and hold on that title bar, and I could kind of put that in another space. You can see maybe split that vertically instead of horizontally. So there's an option there to fit that within your workspaces. Now, another important part here is, of course, saving your workspace. So if you don't want to have to kind of configure that every time, as quick as it may be, you can always save your workspace, save as, and you can have multiple options there. So we'll go ahead and say test workspace here, and we'll save that there. So now it will open up the next time I open up OEC Trader just the same way we see it now, and I could also open up additional workspaces if I wanted to, kind of the same way. So it'll ask if I want to save changes in the workspace or not. That's again all available there within that File and Workspaces menu. If you have any questions about workspace management within OEC Trader, please feel free to shoot us a message or give us a call at any time, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions.